welcome you to this present, this moment, which is my gift to you. And it's actually about, well, being present. That's why it's a present. It is a gift, but it's about being present. And so it's this moment that I would like to share with you. Maybe tell you a little bit about what actually all of this is about, what Realize to Actualize is about, and especially the implications of that. To actualize yourself, that you first begin to realize yourself. How very few actually can say that they realize themselves, that they know themselves. And that is actually the eternal quest, knowledge of self. And it is really this knowledge that I'm referring to a lot here. You know, life is learning. Learning to be that, the Buddha in nature, which is also the nature of that tree you've seen in many of my websites and on YouTube. The tree of life that represents that nature, that way of being, and how you are that nature, your nature, which is not only your individual nature, your personality, your individuality, the knowledge of self. That self is, it's your identity, it's your unique self. But as you find that self, you see the connection with all, because that self is all. And that is the art of living, of learning how to live, to be, to see, to know, to get to know, to understand, to comprehend, and to then really put into practice. After one becomes aware, one realizes, gains these new realizations, new insights, which will also profoundly change your life. It's really like the secret in action, the law of attraction in action. What that means, realize to actualize. But don't just realize that and think about it and want it, but really live it, be it. Be it. At every moment of our life, it is an opportunity to become aware, to learn, to gain new insights, new realizations. And that's really where it begins, the process of learning. This kind of learning. Learning, getting to know ourselves. As we get to know other people, we really get to know them. We learn them, of really becoming awake. And becoming the way, so to speak, because the way God, those of you believe in God, whatever people believe to be God to be, or those who don't believe in God, I think God is the way. I think God is experience, is in the experience. And it's about what we experience. It's in all of us, it connects all of us. And that's our essence. And that is also this tree, this image of that tree it represents. That's also what this gentleman here represents. That's in you, that essence. Your inner Buddha, your inner Jesus, your inner God. Your knowledge, your truth, your real essence, who you really are. And you begin to see that, who you really are, you really get to know yourself. If you really begin to look at and learn other people, and learn from other people. Really learn to see them for who they are. That's all we need to do is learn. Through being present in that present moment. And that's what that is, the present. It's my present to you. It's about being present. Every moment of your life, if you're really living in the now, it's new. That means also everybody you meet, even though you've seen them yesterday or even known them for years or whatever, it's new. When you see them now, it's new. Because you see them in a new way. Or rather, you really see them. You just see them as you're present. Without your mind being preoccupied with all these other things you have to do. Or the things you want from that other person. Or what you think about the other person without really saying that. Because really the power of communication. Because through communication we create community. It's about then we realize our common unity. As we communicate, we realize that you're just another me. And you are a mirror to me. But if I reject what I don't want to see, and then I get angry at the other person, thinking it is the other person that makes you angry or upsets you or is so insensitive or whatever, and you blame them, but you don't realize it's not the other person, it's you, because it's only what you see. They're just holding up that mirror, or just that they represent that mirror. And of course, we all look for mirrors, look for people who make us feel good. When we look at them, we're like, oh, wonderful, you're so nice, you're so sweet, you're exactly what I want. until something happens that gets one person to be like, oh, and then maybe the nagging starts, and the expectations, and the lies and the dishonesty. And the reason for that is a lack of communication. Or, it's not just lack of communication, it's the quality of more communication. Relationships really are about learning. As two people relate to one another. That's the key word there. Relationship, relate, to relate. It's about your ability to relate to another person. But at the same time, then also you need to allow the other person to relate themselves to you. And through this openness, you bring about oneness. And that's, the foundation of peace. And that's really love, of course. But love, really, there is a power. It's also something that we're not really aware of, because it's like we look for love, we fall in love. And so we think it's just a matter of finding that person, that perfect person, which of course everybody wants, myself included. But love is really a power. I used to have another screen name that I still actually use. Love's an attitude. Love is really an attitude. You know exactly how it is when somebody loves you. It's very simple. It is so simple, actually. As much as you also know when somebody hates on you, somebody gives you a hard time, somebody's difficult, and you don't like it. Nobody likes it. I don't like it. When people pick on you. I guess nothing really much has changed when we were in school, and bullies were messing with us, and there were all these different social groups in school already. And then look at our societies, how we have evolved in our arrangements here, and the functions we fulfill, and the roles we play, and the role of our government, the different branches of government, and how people are organized in this government, the different industries, the system we are part of. And there we have the economy, which drives everything, education, which basically prepares children to serve the system, to get the job one day, in order to get the economy going. And entertainment, of course, people want to be entertained. It's an industry, and religion is an industry. God is an industry. It's all a product. And we have become products, very sadly. Well, but again, not to be sad about that, because the good news is not only we are not there, we can change that. We can reconnect with our nature. It's actually, rather simple. Actually, it is rather simple. To put that into practice, yes, of course, that is more difficult. And that requires the practice, the day-to-day. That's the actualization. That's really up to you, if you do that or not. Nobody can do that for you. We all have learned, and we all learn all the time. And it is this really, but it's not just this kind of learning. And it's definitely not the learning in school where there's a teacher telling us something. This is learning for ourselves, about ourselves. And it's a very natural process. We have unlearned that because it became unnatural. And somewhat, we have become unnatural in that we have lost our connection to nature. Because we're living in this mechanical world. And in this reality. Rarely, actually more times than not, was there war. There was always war around the world. And suffering and injustice. And a lot of bloodshed. And dominating nature. Dominating one another. Controlling each other. Inequality and the environmental pollution, and the countries fighting each other, and so much war in this world, maybe more than ever, and even talking about a third world war, which I wouldn't be surprised. But the reality is we have time really now, and it's all about now. It's actually a very pleasurable process, even though there are growing pains sometimes. Lessons which are not always easy to learn. And one resists that. Resist change. I think we all to a certain degree resist change. And then we look for change outside of us in the world. We look for change from other people. We look that life brings us something better. And we look for something better. We hope for something better. and also work for something better. You know, not really being where we are, always wanting to be somewhere else and wanting to be with somebody else, and thinking that just outside there, yeah, if we just get something what we want, what we think we're missing. Just like we think, you know, the problem, and we blame other people, and we blame governments of other countries, or we blame our politicians, or whoever we blame, you know, for the problems that are there. If just this would go away, things would be better. The solution really starts. This you cannot change. That's the world we have created. We all have co-created it to be the way it is. This we cannot change how it is, but what we can change is ourselves. We can learn to be present. We can allow others to be present. And this can be your present.